All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the official vlog recapping my various exciting things I got done in May. You guys already saw I uploaded a video specifically of everything that I did as part of Lee Week, and I explain what that is, and I'm going to explain what it is again. Like the week-long celebration of all things Christopher Lee, just discussing how he is the coolest man alive. And then we also talk about his best friends, Peter Cushing and Vincent Price, and there's wonderful artwork, and I did lots of artwork, and you can see what I did in my previous episode, and you can also see it peppered across most of my social media pages. I posted all of them. I posted all the illustrations on Tumblr because that's where Lee Week is hosted, but the better pieces I also posted on various other places, like, where else am I? Twitter, Instagram, some things on DeviantArt. So you can find all that exciting stuff. But I already covered everything, so I am going to discuss all the other stuff that happened in May. And I had an entire back part just for Lee Week, so that should tell you how much happened in May. I'm going to try to actually remember to look at the camera, because when I'm usually doing these vlogs, I just make eye contact with myself rather than my viewers at home. So, hi, I'm going to try to be better at this whole YouTube thing. All right, we're how many vlogs in, and I'm just now trying to figure this out. I need to put like an arrow telling me to do that, but all right, we're getting into this whole professionalism thing. But that aside, what happened in May? So first thing on my list was obliterated comics. So 8 and 9 were scheduled for this month, and I had both of those posted. I did forget to post issue 9 on Instagram, or not issue 9, strip number 9 on Instagram until the day after, so we were a little bit late, but I did get the comic done on the exact day I needed to have it done. The Lee Week stuff took a lot of time. So, obliterated, that is posted, and that is awesome. And I got some love for that last issue on... I said issue again. What's going on here? The last strip on Tumblr. I was showing Graka's struggles with learning to play the trumpet well, something I personally relate to. I don't practice enough anymore. I'm not the greatest trumpet player by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not as bad as I was when I first got back into playing. It was a couple years ago after a 13-year time gap, and so I'm kind of telling that story through Graka. He's taken a similar time gap. He hasn't played since 5th grade band, much like me, so he's a little rusty, and he kind of sounds like a dying animal, and so I'm showing his experience with his struggles in learning, and I'm going to show Ragnar's struggles playing the guitar. And that's going to be a more current issue thing, because I don't know what it is about the guitar that I can't grok how to do things, if that makes any sense. I do not grok the guitar. I can learn chords, and I can kind of get the idea of a strumming pattern, and that's pretty much where my intelligence stops with guitar playing. So I do need to be practicing the guitar and learning and just putting my own experience into Ragnar's struggles, because I'll be able to tell more of I'll get a better story going if I put my own experience into this, because these are two metalhead goblins I've been talking about starting a band for years, and they just now came to the realization that neither of them can actually play an instrument, so that's kind of a problem. They're trying to pull it together, and they're eventually going to have a more competent musician coming in and giving them some help, some pointers. I don't quite know when I'm going to introduce her yet, but it's going to happen. We're going to have another character showing up, some female representation in my Goblin Metalhead comic. So that's all the goblin-y things that happened. I had a note that's just called Big Stupid Gun Plans, and I did not make plans for a big stupid gun. I mentioned it's a paper mache project, so I'm gonna need the weather to stop looking like whatever is happening out there. It's a little ugly. It's very ugly. It was an ugly run today. So I'd like it to be warmer. I'm just gonna make like this big cartoonish, stupid looking gun, like 90s comic book, over the top paper mache. And I have been collecting some toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls that I can just put some preposterous number of turrets on this thing. It's gonna be cool. I just haven't planned out what it's gonna be beyond just really big and really stupid and really cool. So that'll happen eventually. I'm at the I collected material phase, kind of. And I have a whole stash of cardboard in my closet. I always keep a good stash going for any paper mache projects. So that's gonna happen, and I might even make a video. I might do a paper mache tutorial video. I want to do more things like that, so yes, I will make a tutorial video. That's gonna happen. So, but it didn't happen this month. Well, what were we talking about after that? Oh my goodness, that's what we're talking about. Next thing on the list is this comic I am doing that is rapidly turning into like the best thing that I have made. Oh my goodness. So I think I dropped my paper. All right. I think I had discussed this in a previous episode. I probably said it in the last two, but I came across something in a Facebook zine making group. There is somebody making a Guy Fieri fanzine, and they were doing a call for submissions. I have until July 15th, but I was just so excited I wanted to get going on it right away. So Guy Fieri fanzine. I am doing a little comic where Guy saves Flavortown from the Noid. And I actually came up with this idea. I had an idea as a joke, to do a Noid fanzine for a while. And then it was sometime in April, I think, Domino's actually brought the Noid back in a commercial. So I was accidentally very topical with my choice. I'm taking advantage of the return of the Noid, even though I had the idea already. And I did kind of, it's going to be very hard to see my text, but I do mention Domino's has resurrected the Noid. And then I was finishing up this page last night, and I love it. I'm so proud of this. This is gonna be the best thing ever when it's finished. And then, okay, so I don't really have, as you can see, there is nothing because I haven't drawn anything yet, except for a very loose Noid there. But all right, I'm hoping this is gonna be basically the greatest comic I've ever written, even though, like, I mean, they say you shouldn't work for free, but if you have the opportunity to do a comic where Guy Fieri fights the Noid and you can make it the best thing you've ever done, I think that's a good reason to just do something for fun and stupid reasons. It also, you know what is very topical about this comic also, and I will show you that text again. You'll notice I've got hand lettering, and I've kind of written on a borderline, and that is because a dude I follow on Twitter and various other places who's like an actual legit professional artist, and people actually give him money, and he's actually done comics, and he is actually doing a graphic novel right now. He has been practicing his hand lettering, and this is something I have wanted to do. I have a better example here. This is something I did in the first issue of Whoa Awesome Space Babe, and it looked like absolute ass. And I'm also not a very good speller, so that's a problem. So second issue onward, I started just doing things on the computer, which sucks. I don't like doing text on the computer, but I was seeing it really as the best option for me. But I did realize now the other option is just to get better at comic lettering, which I am doing that. This is not everything is super perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I was experimenting just with like not really comic lettering, just lettering in general. I also discovered I don't know how to spell Sphinx, apparently. This is what I was saying is one of the problems with handwriting things. You're gonna find out how much the education system failed me, or perhaps how much I did not pay attention in my education. That's probably more accurate. But I have been going through and just doing lettering, learning how to have handwriting that doesn't completely suck, that sort of thing. And my mom's been doing something very similar because she has gotten really into using fountain pens and dip pens, and she is trying to relearn how to write cursive. I was the generation where they kind of just gave up on that, so I don't even want to know what kind of absolute Lovecraftian horror would result from me trying to write cursive. I might accidentally summon Cthulhu if I tried to write cursive. That's where I'm at. But one of the things she was doing was planning to scribe a book. So writing from a book, and I was like, I like that idea. I am gonna write the lyrics to When Doves Cry by Prince. So that's what I'm doing in terms of my practice. But yeah, I think that will be very beneficial. So next issue of Whoa Awesome Space Babe. Hello, Catullus. I have a special guest in the vlog. Let me see. Oh, he left. Never mind. We don't have a special guest. Okay, where was I? Next issue of Whoa Awesome Space Babe, which by the way I didn't work on at all in May. I had shit to do, so I did a bunch of other stuff. That's my excuse. So Whoa Awesome Space Babe, nothing happened with that. I am going to handwrite issue 6, and that's going to be as preparation for the graphic novel that's going to eventually happen. And I was talking about this in the previous episode. I am going to do issue 6 on manga paper. So I got this paper, and it's a little bit different than the Copic paper that I've had in the past that I attempted to show you guys. You can't see the ruler at all on this, but yeah, I'm gonna use this paper, and it's pretty small. Proportionally, it's a little smaller than what I'm using right now for my comics. Like the layout's a little smaller, but I think that might work out better. I've said I like to work really small. One of the ideas I've been formulating in my mind is sometime post-apocalypse, the world goes back to some semblance of normalcy. I'd like to do an art show, but it's going to be very small, and the focus is going to be very, very tiny paintings. And I'm going to call it something like Obnoxiously Tiny, just as partly because I like to draw on a small scale. I like to paint on a small scale, and because my portfolio teacher didn't like that, so I think it would be really funny. Hi again, Catullus. Oh, hello. You're dirty. Oh my goodness. The dirty cat. You are so dirty. Distracted by the dirty cat. Okay, where was I in this whole... Oh, now he's chewing on newspaper. Okay. Alright, so we talked about Whoa Awesome Space Babe, and the next thing on that list... Oh, the collage. The Passion collage I mentioned in the previous vlog, and I even turned right to the exact page in my binder. This is a submission for a collaborative zine. I collaged this off of some pages in my Jerry's Artorama catalog, and the zine is just, what are you passionate about? And it's like, art. That is my thing. That's why I sit here and talk about it every single month. So I have made this beautiful, beautiful work of art, and when I get that contributor copy, when that arrives, I am going to talk about it in an episode. I am going to start doing episodes where I talk about if I get a cool vlog in the mail and talking about who made it, why you should check those people out and buy their zines, all of those stuff. Okay, so I have some notes that are like week specific, and then I wrote it there, so I'm like getting a little confused on what's going on here. I have what I just referred to as Fancy Sylv. I did a digital art piece of Sylvando from Dragon Quest XI, who is my favorite character right now. He is my current hyperfixation. So a lot of Sylvando art has been happening. I might not have posted all of it because I'd like you all to not be bleeding out of your eyes. But I did do an entirely digital art piece that I actually, with the coloring, I had to restart the coloring entirely. I shouldn't say I had to. It was more that I got a suggestion from somebody on DeviantArt on how to improve it. So I just scrapped all the coloring I had already done, and I started over based off of their suggestions, and they made a whole little guide on how to go about coloring in the style I was thinking of doing, and I'm very, very glad I did, because that piece is probably one of my best digital art pieces for somebody who's not very good at digital art. At least I don't think I am. So that, I'm just really glad to be finished with it. It was one of those pieces where you finish it and you're like, I don't know if this is good. I'm just really glad to not ever have to look at it for many hours again. Oh my goodness. But I am happy with how it turned out. I'm going to get some water because, my goodness. I always seem to be drinking out of the McDonald's Batman cup when I'm drinking on stream. I swear I own other cups. Alright. That's better. What else did I do? I did some watercolor and gouache paintings. This is His Divine Horniness, my Lord Cernunnos. I'm very happy with how this turned out. It is, like I said, watercolor and gouache, but also it is micron pens, little bit of mechanical pencil for some details, and also watercolor pencils. Yes, watercolor pencils. I have another piece I did, but it is sitting over there on my altar. Is that what I did this month? Is that everything? That might be everything. I had a plan that I was going to do more warm-up sketches in the morning, but I ended up just not necessarily having time to focus on that because Lee Week took up a lot of my time, which I'm glad that I spent so much time on that because I made some really good stuff. If you'll watch the previous episode, you will see. So, May, very successful. Actually, very, very successful. Because I've been talking about bike riding, I can now proudly say I can ride a bicycle at absolute garbage level. I went out to the park and I rode around the park and I didn't fall off, and I was a little wobbly and it was a little awkward, but I did it. And I've gone out several other times and every single time it's gone better. So I am absolutely learning to ride a bike, and I'm very happy that that's how things are going well. So, what is on the menu for June? The first thing I wrote was Wasp number 6, for the love of God. I really need to get around to doing that because July is Camp NaNoWriMo session, and as I've said multiple times, although I don't participate as an official Camp NaNoWriMo thing, I've just decided that anytime NaNoWriMo is occurring, that's when I am going to double down on one particular project. So July for me is when I'm going to start working on Whoa Awesome Space Babe number 6. As like actual making the comic exist. Right now I need to finish writing this stupid thing. I kind of got stuck in a spot and I need to unstick myself And I need to just like start writing something. I need to start writing ideas, not worry about a script or anything. I just need to make stuff happen so that I can be ready for making this comic actually exist. So that's going to happen. I'm also going to finish the Guy fanzine comic, even though I don't necessarily need it to be finished right away in June. I'm having fun with it and I want it to happen. The paper mache project, I will be starting that. I was going to say I was going to take photos, but I need to do footage because, like I said, I'm going to do a special vlog episode and you're going to see some cool things happen. So that's the other thing. Obliterated 10 and 11 and 12 are going to happen. I have to do 3 because there was some kind of like discrepancy in how I wrote down. So my current planner, it ends at the end of June, and so I bought a new planner, and so I started writing down like what days do Obliterated need to get posted on, and I kind of like messed up the every other week thing, so there is going to be like a week and then another week where you get 2 Obliterateds in a row, and that'll be cool, but I do have to remember that I messed up my count a little bit. So 3 Obliterated issues should be, I keep saying issues, oh my god. 3 Obliterated strips are going to be happening at some point in June. I have a charcoal piece that was actually supposed to be for Lee Week that I did not even get to at all, and I'd like to do that because I still have all of my charcoal stuff out, and I'd rather actually use it to do something than just put it away and forget about it. So charcoal piece will happen. And then the last thing, I said list stuff because I'm not going to show you guys what the to-do list looks like. It's scary. A lot of it is just like, I have an idea to draw something. I have an idea for, I don't know, not like a super big project, but just like little drawing ideas, but they are piling up, and the big project list has some things, and the comics list has a lot of things. So I'm gonna make that list a little less scary, but at the same time, I do feel like that kind of makes June very substantial. And I didn't mention that previously in previous episodes, but I did apply for a job at a place that is supposed to be opening in June. They're opening in these trying times, so hopefully that works out for them. So it's entirely possible I'm going to be a functioning, contributing member of society at some point next month. I am going to be returning to volunteering also because the Wildlife Clinic had to stop their volunteering program because their case counts got really high around here, and they just did not want to have an issue from that. So volunteering hasn't happened since last year, in sometime in the fall. So it's been a very long time, and I should be returning in the middle of this month. So eventually I can pretend that I am a functioning, contributing member to society instead of just an art goblin. But yeah, I'll be glad to be back. And as long as I manage my time well, I can get all my art done and do the functioning society things. Which, on that note, I am gonna go ahead and call it good and get some sketching done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I always appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful time making art.